What's up, everybody? Cigar Shipper Laird Mayhew back with another cigar review. Today I've got the Highclere Castle Victorian from Foundation Cigar. Stay tuned.
I can smoke stogies in my house. First of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
All right. Welcome back to another episode here at Cigar Sherpa. I, of course, am your host, Laird Mayhew. And like my intro said, today I've got the Highclere Castle from Foundation. This is the Victorian in Toro. Maduro wrapper. Really excited about this cigar. I don't hide the fact that I'm a big fan of Nick Melillo over at Foundation Cigar. The man's a madman genius when it comes to tobacco. And there is a lot of history behind this cigar, and I am going to let you do that for yourself. I'm not going to go into it. There's just a lot that went into the creation of this cigar, so we're just going to get right into it. We got an Ecuador Habano wrapper, okay, and it is damn near seamless. I mean, it's very tight. I can see a seam or two, but I'm going to say it's a seamless wrapper, even though, of course, there's seams there. It's got a big old double cap on it. It's got like an oily sheen to it. It's not very oily, but it's got a sheen. It's toothy. Beautiful wrapper. It's got a hay smell to it. And on the foot, it's got a very, very pungent chocolatey smell coming off of there. So we'll see how that plays out in the flavor. It's got a Brazilian Modafina wrapper, which is interesting to me. And then it's got the tri-blend Nicaraguan filler, and I believe I saw Condega, Esteli, and it wasn't Jalapa. It was another one. And I don't remember, and I should have that written down, but I don't. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm just getting over a sickness. Last review, I left up what I told you that I was feeling sick. Turned out it was pneumonia, or it was bronchitis, and my right lung was starting to get pneumonia. But antibiotics working, kicking in. Thankfully, my palate, I've been able to taste the whole time, so I've been able to smoke the whole time. All right, so where was I? Oh, I think I covered everything. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing cut and lit up, and we're going to get right into it. Woo! All right. Right away, it has got some good pepper. I don't know if it's red pepper or black pepper, but it's in the retrohale. So when you light this up, be careful on that retrohale for sure. All right, so right away, like I said, I'm getting good pepper. It's black pepper. It's got a very earthy flavor to it right off the bat, and the smoke's pretty creamy, which normally, in my experience, doesn't really happen until the cigar develops a little bit. But yep, spicy. It's like a light spice. Now it's kind of mellowing off. It's earthy, and there's a sweetness coming in there now. Kind of like a dried fruit. Not as sweet as a raisin, but it's good. I'm going to get into the first third of this thing, come back and tell you what I think about it. Stay tuned. All right. We're about 10 minutes in, first third here, and I am enjoying this cigar. Let me apologize. I got a freezer in my garage where I got the studio set up, and it's going through its cycle right now, so it's making that background noise, and I don't know how to filter it out, so just bear with me. Just listen to my voice. That's all you should be paying attention to anyway. That dried fruit that was coming in on the initial light is there. It's part of the flavor profile. It's there. It's got a sweet smoke. It's got a very earthy, like good musty earth, and peppery finish. Okay, black pepper. And on the retrohale, black pepper is the order of the day. You're going to get it. It stays in the beginning of the retrohale. It's at the end of the retrohale. And that's about all I'm getting. It's about three-dimensional so far. The smoke, the draw is perfect. I'm getting a lot of smoke. burn is really good. Nice solid ash. But I would say, let me just circle back on that. It's very earthy and peppery, and it's got a dried fruit nuance. Now, I don't know what that dried fruit is. Cherries, raisins. It's just kind of a fruity sweetness to the background on the palate there. The smoke is a little bit oily, which is good. I mean, I don't know. I know I said that like it was a bad thing. It's right in between creamy and oily, if I would say. But it's damn good cigar so far, and I'm gonna let this thing develop and get into the second third and come back and tell you what I think about it. All right. We're still in the first third. I've hit a bit of a construction snag here. You see that hole right there? It kind of goes back about an inch, and I'm getting some draw problems. Oh, getting to where I'm really having to work it. It must be clogged up right there. So I'm going to work on it a little bit. Flavor has kind of shifted, though. I guess we're about 25 minutes in right now. That sweet dried fruit flavor that dried fruit nuance that was coming in there has kind of disappeared now. It's taken on more of a wood, an oak type wood. It's not cedar. It's more like a dry oak. I could see this pairing up pretty well with a bourbon or brandy or whiskey, whatever your whiskey drink is. Scotch. I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big drinker, but I do know the flavors of it, and this would pair very well with it. It does leave like a pepper tingle on the palate, and it does that oakiness that's there. It kind of sits in your mouth. I'm not a big fan of oak flavors, so there, you know how I feel about that. It's picking up kind of a leathery note too. So it started off with like that pepper and that sweet dried fruit with a little bit of a creamy smoke, and then it was like oily. Now the smoke is pretty dry. It's thinning out now because of this construction mishap here. I'm gonna have to play with that, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on that, see if I can work past it and get into the second third and let you know where it stands. All right. We are well into the second third, about at the halfway point of the cigar, and it's going pretty good. I got past that. It must have been like a little knot there or something was causing the airflow to just shut off. I just kind of let it work itself out, and when I excuse me, when I let it just work itself out, we got through it. Everything was fine. This cigar, I don't know if I mentioned it in the first third. It was started off as like a medium to full strength bodied cigar, and has worked its way into what I'm going to call a full bodied cigar. Okay, this is full flavored. The flavor notes are very robust, and I'm going to say it's full strength cigar because it's got good strength. This is a strong cigar. Okay, this ain't for the faint of heart. So if you're new to full bodied, full strength cigars, have a full stomach for this one. So that dried fruit flavor kind of went away. I don't know if that was from the blend or if that was from that little construction mishap that we were having, but the sweetness comes back, but it's more of a brown sugary, almost a caramel sweetness, but like a burnt caramel. It's good. The cigar really reminds me, and I hate to compare cigars because I know that's like, I don't know, I don't step on anybody's toes, but it really reminds me of the My Father La Bijou. It's got that really rich black coffee and that sweetness. Now this one's got a little bit more sweetness to it. Like I say, I'm going to go ahead and call it like a toasted caramel because that's what it reminds me of. It could be a brown sugar. It's got some spice to it throughout the cigar. I couldn't pinpoint it, like a baker's spice, but it's very faint. And that oak flavor that I was getting, it's still there, but it's more of a late nuance. Like it kind of comes on after the smoke's already gone, and it's kind of lingering around on your palate. It's got kind of a dry oakiness to it, but overall, it's a very good cigar. It's a very well made cigar. I mean, I haven't had no burn issues minus that little hole there, but like I said, we're past all that now. The ash is, it's nice and thick, and if I did not ash it, the ash would still be on there. I'm sure of it. I mean, it was just hanging on. I just don't like to let it get too long, maybe for like show purposes, but you know, for smoking, I'll let it go about 1.5 inches, sometimes 2 inches, and then I'm gonna ash it off. But there you go, man. I haven't gotten any people that have told me about the cigar, said they had some chocolate notes, and maybe they did. I'm just not getting any chocolate, but I'm definitely getting leather. I'm definitely getting black pepper. I'm definitely getting caramel, and I'm definitely getting the oak flavor there. And if it's not oak, then it's just like a dry wood. But overall, it's a good cigar. I'm going to shut the hell up so I can keep smoking it. And I'll be back in the final third to let you know what I really think about it. All right. We are in the final third of this cigar. And if the size of this thing tells you anything, it should tell you that I really, really, really enjoyed this cigar, that I'm smoking it all the way down. I will say this, from the halfway point on till now, this cigar really ramps up. It ramps up, it stays, it's full bodied, it's full flavored, it's full strength, it's full everything. I got a little bit of a buzz going on, I'm not even going to lie. So, from that halfway point until now, that burnt caramel flavor that was there really picks up and it gets really sweet. It's almost like a honey sweet, almost like that really good honey that you get from the farmer's market that's like got the honeycomb in it, and it's dark and it's murky and you can't see through it. It's like a toasted honey, caramely finish that is very, very good. I mean, I'm gonna have to put this thing down. It's starting to burn my fingers, but it's very earthy, it's very sweet, and it's got a very good black coffee with that black pepper. I mean, it's just a good cigar. Okay, so it's got the, again, let me just recap here. We've got the Ecuador Habano wrapper with a Maduro wrapper with the Brazilian Modafina binder and the Nicaraguan blend filler. Okay, started off kind of medium to full. It worked its way into full. About halfway point, it was definitely a full-bodied cigar. It's definitely a full-strength cigar. It had a like a dried fruit nuance in the beginning. That kind of went away. And then I had that little bit of construction error, just a small, slight, maybe a little 5-minute hiccup. It worked itself out. The dried fruit went away, and then that caramel started coming in. Okay? And the caramel, it's just addicting. You just want to keep smoking it. So when you got toasted caramel and you've got like a deep, earthy flavor, and then you got black coffee, and you're mixing all that together, you know, with that black pepper, you just can't go wrong. And I tell you again, if you really are interested in delving a little bit deeper, if you go and you watch and you find out what went into this cigar and how deep in the historical record that Nick went into developing in this cigar, it's interesting. So I encourage you to go and check that out. I don't want to do the story any disservice by, you know, misstating anything, but as far as a daily arsenal cigar, this thing was expensive. I think I paid like $12-13 for it. It's definitely not going to make it into the daily arsenal, although I would love to smoke this cigar every day, and I would smoke it every day. But there you go. So I also wanted to say also on okay, so the reviews that I read and people that have smoked it have complimented the chocolatey flavor that this thing has. I didn't get any of that, but towards the end here, after I took the band off, and maybe because I was looking for it, but it does with that sweetness and that earthiness and that good coffee note. It does kind of come together and give you like a chocolatey, and I don't even want to say like a bitter dark chocolate because it's like sweet, but it's a good cigar. Definitely recommend you try it, as any cigar from Foundation that I've found. So this has been your Cigar Sherpa, Laird Mayhew, reminding you to be polite to everybody that you meet, but always have a backup plan in case you need to shoot them in the face. And I'm out.